What is up YouTube, it is Matty and welcome to this Clash Royale overview video, and I'm going to be discussing all aspects of the game Clash Royale and what it's all about. So it is the latest addition to the Supercell game portfolio, and it is a pretty good one. I've been playing it for a little while now, and I'd say I'm relatively good. I got a good grasp of the game and how it works and all that, and I'm here to try and explain it to you guys. So I hope you enjoy what you see and would consider subscribing if you enjoy my commentary style and if you enjoy the way I talk through the game. So what's it all about? It's a live battling sort of card based game. So what you do is you battle other people in a live scenario where you both drop cards. So just to give you a very quick example, if I go into this battle now, you'll see that at the bottom I've got an elixir bar that in fact we both have got an elixir bar, and then what you do, you each got your side of the battlefield. I'll explain this more in a little bit, but you place troops, you place your cards on only your side of the battlefield until you've taken down an enemy tower, but you place them and each unit has a cost. So you can see as the units are being used on my side and as I'm dropping troops, it uses up my amount of elixir. So every troop has got obviously its own statistics, from HP to the damage it can do, to its whether it's a spell or a defensive building, whatever it might be. But every unit has a cost with it, so it's all about the flow of elixir. I'm going to exit this now and talk a bit more generally about the game. So it's all about the cards that you have. So if we look into my deck here, I've got every player has their own deck of 8 cards. So those are your live cards, shall we say? And each time I go into battle, I'll have all these I'll have these card options that will sort of flow to me. You have got a card collection. You can see I found 33 out of 48 on this account, and you can use any of these cards. So for example, if I wanted to use a wizard, I wouldn't because it's a level 1, but if I wanted to use that, I just switch it out with, for example, my minion horde, and then he'll be in my deck and available when I'm in the battlefield. I will switch that back because otherwise I'll forget, but there we go. And you can carry up to 3 decks, you can see up here. So if you've got different army layouts that you want, different sort of attack, different decks, you can switch and interchange. You just got to remember which deck you've got activated before you go into the battle, otherwise you might find yourself sweating a little bit. But day to day, the game is all about upgrading your cards. So on each of my cards you can see, let's take the top 8 for example. Prince is level 2. You can see the level, and by the colour of it you can tell the difference between a common, which is this one, and if I go into info you can see the rarity is common. It's a spell, tells you the area damage it does, the crown tower damage, and also its radius. And if I go into the prince for example, it tells me his damage, what he targets, his speed, his DPS, obviously a bit about the unit itself. So you've got all the statistics of each card, and its rarity, this one is an epic, and the 3rd out of 4 types of cards is a rare. So you got common is the most common, rare is the next, then epic, and then legendary is the final one. I don't have any legendary cards yet to show you. They are in the higher leagues, so I am working towards it, and I will get one, and as soon as I do, obviously I can show you the stats of it and that sort of thing. But you can see, for example, on my barbarians I've got 86 out of 100, and that's the amount of cards I've got, and as soon as I hit 100 I'll be able to upgrade that card and get it to level 7. So it's currently level 6, and you can see when you've got the amount of cards. So for example on my goblins down here, I can spend the amount of gold that I've got, which is 1000, to upgrade it to level 7, and I can upgrade that card. Primarily most people will only upgrade the cards that they're sort of using in their deck, maybe start upgrading if they've got excess gold, but typically you want to be upgrading the cards that are in your deck. But also, in fact, if you've got the gold, obviously upgrade it, because the more cards you upgrade, it adds to your level. So you can see at the top I'm level 6 on this account. I do have a level 7 account as well, which you can see is slightly higher in trophies at 2111, with some slightly higher troops as well. I'll switch to that account before the end of this video just to give you a couple of examples of some decks. But day to day you're going to be upgrading your cards. Now there's a few ways to do it. You can request for troops, so you can see on the request there I've got a 3-hour cooldown, 3 hour 45 minutes, and you can request for some cards from your clanmates. So you do 1 request per 8 hours, and that's either you can request 1 rare card or 10 common cards. and you need to just keep that going basically. As soon as you can, do it. Request, get the cards that you want to upgrade, and if you want to do the next, like for example I'm trying to upgrade barbarians now, so the next two requests will be barbarians. I'll get that to level 7, and then I'll probably switch over to Tesla or spear goblins or something like that. Or if one of my epics is if one of my rares is being close to upgrade, like the wizard maybe, I might do that. You can't request epic upgrades though, so be aware of that. And in fact there is a shop, I'll show you that in a second, but what you do when you battle, if you win you earn a chest. It's either a silver, a gold or a magical, and then those chests have time to time to open. So the silver chests are 3 hours, the gold chests are 8 hours, the magical chests are 12 hours, and the super magical chests are 24 hours. However, you can use the gems to just buy chests straight out if it is gemming you want to do. On this account I haven't spent any gems, so I'm just earning as I go, and trying to save up the gold manually. The other way is by donating, so you can see here I'm on a donation cooldown at the moment for another 6 hours and 42 minutes, but if I had one, which I do, I could donate to him and earn myself gold and experience points, so it's good to do that. I'm opening this free chest that I've got now, so I've just got 6 barbarians, which is fantastic, meaning that I only need to do one more request on that and then I'll have it, and I just got a rare as well, which is pretty cool. And so you got your free chests, they come every 6 hours, you can stack up to 2. I think it's 6 hours, and so when you go to sleep you might wake up and have 2 free chests available, and the crown chest is 1 per day, 1 per 24 hours, and you need to basically earn crowns from battles. So if you can get 1 out of 3 crowns in every battle you do, so you need to get 10 to unlock the chest, and then it's like opening a gold chest, which is again very useful. Gets you the cards, allows you to upgrade your troops. So yeah, that gives you a little bit of an idea. There is okay, so to try and explain it, I'm in Arena 5, so I'm at 1600 trophies now. If I flick down to the bottom when you first start, you'll be in the training camp. Those are the troops you can unlock there. When you in training camp, those are the troops you can unlock. When you get to the goblin stadium, you can see you can unlock the spear goblins, the goblin hut, Valkyrie, lightning, goblin barrel. When you get to bone pit, you can get the skeletons, minions, tombstone, bomber tower, giant skelly, loon, etc, etc. You can get to the barbarian bolt, and it's all about the amount of higher the trophies you go. Bear in mind, the higher the trophies you go, so when in this account you can see I'm currently in Spell Valley. You can still get all the cards from the lower chest, so I still might be able to find a freeze or a P.E.K.K.A. or minions, and you actually saw that in that chest there I did get my barbarians from a slightly lower league. So you still the higher you go the better really, because you've got more options available to you. However, if it is an epic you're trying to level up, you might want to do that at a lower trophy range, because there's obviously fewer options in cards that you can get from the chest. So for example, if you haven't got the witch, you might want to drop all the way down to 0 and just play in the training camp or in the goblin stadium, and so you've got a higher chance of getting it, shall we say. But that's how you do it. You obviously, the next arena for me would be Arena 6, and to get there I need to get 1700 trophies, and then I'll be able to get the mortar, I'll be able to get the elixir pump and a mystery card there. When I get to Arena 7 you can see I'll be able to get the what's it called, the royal giant, the trio of musketeers, etc, etc. That is the style of the game, that's how it works. The higher in cups you go, I say better, but the more card options you've got available, because every deck's different. Okay, so moving on through the daily shop you've got as well. Every day it offers 1 common, 1 rare and 1 epic card, and it's different every day. So today I might wake up and it's the exact card. I might have barbarians in there. I just buy a few, so they start on the commons at 3, so the next one will cost 4, the next one will cost 5, 6, 7 and so on, but they do start up in multiples. So the next one might cost 8, the next one might cost 10, the next one might cost 15, etc. And on rares they start at 40 and then 56 and then 78, and if I just buy one now, you can see the next one is 109, and so forth with the epics as well. So if you do manage to save up enough gold to purchase epics from the shop, and the one that you want comes up, you can buy them straight from there. And if you are going to gem, what I'd advise you do is just buy a good amount of gold. Buy a wagon of gold, for example, 100,000. If that's the way you want to play, and then you can use your purchases from the shop every day, and you can just pay for your upgrades, get your level up and up the crown tower. So when the level, all that determines, so you can see I'm level 6, all that determines is the level of your crown tower, your crown towers that you've got in battle. So if I click watch, you can see my towers are both got 2030 HP, and they've got a damage per second with them as well from the fire that they do. So the only two things from that, but generally the level you are is the sort of card levels determines the card levels you should roughly have. There's obviously obvious exceptions, but if you're level 6, you should have level 6 commons really. Minus, what did we say? Is it about minus 2 for rares? So you should have level 4 rare cards, and you should have level minus 5 for epics. So you should have level 2 epics really. And you can see my deck is a classic example, all 6s, 4s on the 2 rares that I've got, which is the fireball and the hog, and then a level 2 prince. So that's the sort of the standard way, and that carries through as well if you've got level, no matter what level you are really. So your commons are always going to be the highest level. If you get a brand new common, for example, if I got let's have a look, if I got a mortar, for example, because I know that's a common card when I go up a league, I'll get it at level 1. So I probably won't want to use that in my army in my deck until I've leveled it up to the level of my other commons, so like level 6 in this case. But I'm soon going to be moving into the level 7 remit, at which point I'll probably become level 7 myself anyway. So that's the way that works. You can show and share replays between the clan. So if I click on the little symbol down here, my activity log, where you can I can rewatch my games, any of the battles that I've done, you can share with the clan. You've got TV Royale, where you can watch some of the pros play, or when I say pros, you know, the people in the highest leagues, where you can watch try and pick up new strategies, new deck ideas from them. You can see here, the more you watch, the more you might pick up new little strategies, new little tips, which is really interesting actually. It's a good way to learn, to see how the pros do it, and there's so many deck options. Obviously they're going to have the higher cards available to them, so you've got to take everything with a pinch of salt. But what this game is all about is timing and elixir flow. So we're going to go into a little bit and talk about I'm going to talk a little bit about the decks now, what sort of decks you can do. But just to finish up, in this game, always be opening a chest. If it's overnight you're doing it, open a gold. So you wake up in the morning, you collect your gold chest, then set a couple of silvers off through the day. So the idea is you want to come back every few hours, do a couple of attacks, make sure you're stocked up on your chests, unlock any chests that you've got, and then set a new one back off. So that's the idea. You come in, set your chests off, and then go back out. Let's talk about decks, okay? So you can, as I said, you've got a deck of 8. You can only have 4 available to you at any one time. So if I go into the training camp now, where we can see me in a live battle, it's a level 6, you can see I've got 4 available to me, 4 cards, and I've got a 5th one where you can see the barbarian down the bottom left, and that's what's coming next. So I know that barbarians are coming soon. So for example, if I place my Tesla here, try and pull the barbarians over towards it, I'm already getting hit by a wizard, so I'm going to fireball him and make him weak on health, fireball a bit of the barbarians as well, and you can see the elixir flow I've got down the bottom. So that's going to determine what I do. By only using arrows there, which costs 3, I should have the elixir advantage now, which should give me an opportunity to potentially send in one of my higher hitting units. He has got a giant down, which is an excellent counter to that though. But what you need to try and do is understand your deck, understand what its limitations are, understand and try and actually understand the enemy's deck, as in as the battle progresses, try and understand what cards they've got, what they could use to counter, and then how are you going to use your deck to try and get the upper hand. I'm not going to play this battle all the way through, it's just to give you a little bit of an idea. Balance is key, so you need to have a good balance of offense and defense. You need to be able to stop units that are coming to attack you, know when to drop troops or not. You can see here I'm using barbarians to pull the troops away from the crown and the tower there. But then they're going to go on to the offense. I might drop a hog in now behind them to give them a little bit more oomph. Get my hog onto that tower to take some health off it. And now I've got a bit of an advantage. You can see I'm actually going to get a good few hits off, and I'm probably going to be able to take that tower down, which is excellent. So it's all about knowing when to defend, knowing when to attack as well, how to attack, which troops to use. Yeah, that's what the game is about. I'm going to exit out of this now because it's there's no point. I'll go into a little bit in the gameplay. Every card has a use. Okay, I can't really say there are any duff cards, but it's how you use them and how you make best use of their attributes that determines if it's going to work within your deck. And everyone's going to have different ideas on deck styles. I will talk a little bit about that in a minute. So some people like to use a lot of cheap troops. So you can see down here I've got an average elixir cost. It's sort of in the middle of the screen. What that does, every as you saw in the top left of every card, you can see this one is 3, this one is 5, 4, 4, etc. That's how much elixir. You saw the moving bar in the gameplay. That is that number determines how much elixir that is going to use that troop in battle. So my average elixir cost of all my cards is 4. Typically I stick between 4 and 4.3, something like that, maybe even a 3.9. Some people can sit lower at 3.2. So for example, let me go into a spare deck. If I start using the goblins as opposed to that, I start using the arrows instead of the fireball, because that's 3 instead of 4. If I start using the minions instead of the minion horde, that's 3 again. You can see my average elixir cost is dropping because the weight of my units is dropping down as well, which means I'll be able to attack faster. So if I now go into a battle, because my elixir bar is filling up and both elixir bars fill up at the same rate on each player, because I'm able to drop sort of cheaper troops, I'm almost able to sort of send a steady-ish flow of units in towards the enemy. I mean, it's probably not the best way to do it, to be honest. If you've got a cheaper deck, the normal way is to use it to play sort of counter attacks and to defend whatever's coming at you and then turn that into offense. So to give you an idea of that, if I defend the wizard here with a bit of Tesla and see what he throws at me, if he drops a hog now, or if he drops a barbarian horde, I can either use the bomber for the barb horde, or I can barbarians, sorry, or I can use the goblins to stop. Here we go, look, classic example. Drop the bomber here, he's only 3 units, the barbarian horde is 5. So now my bomber's going to do some pretty good damage to that. He's dropped a hog. If I drop a cheap unit there, so my goblins, they're going to do some damage to him, take him down quite quickly. Counter attack now with my hog and a couple of cheap minions as well. Now I've got an advantage. He's going to try and defend it. My minions are there to stop his defense, and boom, I've suddenly taken the tower down. So that's what I'm trying to say about the average elixir cost. It's all about how you use your army. Mine is quite higher. I'm using heavier set units, but that's my attack style. So, talking about attack styles, deck styles, let me switch accounts and let's have a quick chat about that. Because I've logged into my other ID, it should be good enough to flick over and show you. Just type in confirm here, flick to my main deck, because I've got more card options available to me. You see I've got a chest slot as well, so we'll try and fill that up at the end of the video. So, this is my main deck. I've got it's a 4.1 cost. I've got some offensive options like the Prince and the Hog. And I've got some, even the freeze can be counted as offense as well, because if you send a hog in and then freeze whatever's trying to kill it, you can do some serious damage. Freeze can also be used on defense. In fact, a lot of these units can be used on offense or defense, and that's the key, knowing what to counter what with what. And that you'll get that with experience and by watching other people play, watching replays, watching YouTubers, all that. There's a few main types of deck. So for example, a counter deck. That's what I pretty much showed you in the last in that training camp, what you've got to do is try and counter enemy attacks using cheaper elixir units to try and gain yourself an elixir advantage, and then push an offense forward. So when the enemy is lower on elixir because they've used heavy units, you've defended them, you then do a counter push. So very good. You're trying to use smarter use of your elixir. That's the idea, and we call it countering. So that's a counter army. There's a siege type army. So mine's almost by the way, because I'm going to tell you 3 types. Mine's almost like a hybrid between a counter and a beatdown. Next one I'll tell you is a siege. A couple of options with the siege. Now the idea of it is you don't let them get to your crown, your towers. So you use maybe a number of defences. So in this one you can see I've brought an Inferno, a Tesla and a bomber tower. I've also got some heavier units. I've got a giant there. I would probably in this scenario switch out that giant for maybe some spear goblins. That looks a little bit better to me. And then the idea now is that if you can defend everything that's coming at you, you can use ranged units like maybe a rocket, maybe even like an Expo, because the Expo can hit enemy. It's more of an offensive unit than a defensive one. So where are we here? If I drop the Expo in there, it can hit enemy towers, and boom, suddenly you can defend that. Then you can defend that Expo with either the Inferno, the Tesla, and maybe even the bomber tower, your units, spells, whatever. So a siege is more of kind of controlling their offense and blocking whatever comes at you, and then using ranged weapons so you don't have to push across the entire of the map, for example. So you can either do that, or you can mix in heavy spells. So if I go for a lightning, trade out, let's just say the minion horde there, if I trade that out for a fireball as well, suddenly I can, and I mean you could go crazy on spells and get a rocket in there as well. Where's my rocket? Or is it already in there? No, it's not. Here we go. If I trade out my rocket, I'm obviously going to leave myself a little bit vulnerable now to being hit on the offense, by offense, but you know, that's more of a siege style layout. The final one is more of a beatdown army. So you can use, there's a couple of options with this. You can use a heavy set unit, or you can create a large elixir pool. So for example, an elixir pump will allow you to gain elixir every, 9.8 seconds. There you go. So it's alive for 1 minute and 10. Every almost 10 seconds it's going to give you 1 extra bit of elixir. If you use the mirror card to put 2 elixir pumps down, suddenly you've got 2 extra elixir coming every 10 seconds. So you're gaining an advantage, and then what you do is you drop the absolute beast, like a heavy set unit down, like a golem, maybe even a giant if you've got a high level one, a giant witch combination for example. You send those in, and then you filter your other troops in behind. So if I can get myself a good few elixir collectors down, drop a golem, then suddenly behind it I drop a minions, spear goblins, wizard. They will just stop any units that are hitting it. Combine that with arrows as well. You can create like a build-up of an army and just absolutely slam an enemy tower if you get it right. You could even, let's say, replace the minion horde there, whip in a baby dragon behind the thing, and people are going to be struggling to stop you. It's a very powerful army. I haven't mastered it yet. I will do, and I'll be doing videos on this style of attack. And then there's the one that I'm most comfortable with and use most often. And it's basically a combination of direct tower threats. So Prince, Dark Prince, Goblin Barrel even, which I don't use. You've got Hogs. Hogs are a standard. They just go straight to them. And Balloon. Another classic that will go straight to towers. So you use a combination of sort of like offensive units with maybe, I mean, if you, example in my attack style, and we'll try it now actually, let me just donate that wizard there. You can see it gets me elixir and EXP. If I do an attack in training, just for the purpose of this one, I can do hybrid style attacks now. So if I for example, wait for my elixir to fill up a little bit, if I tried firstly sending in a prince and a hog. He's going to have to do some. He's going to have to figure out how to defend those. You can see he dropped a lightning. Didn't help him too much. I've already got a good bit of damage down on his tower already. So able to pretty much take down half his tower there. I'm now going to need to counter him a little bit, dropping a Tesla down. My spear goblins. That's going to sort of prevent the counter attack a little bit. But now I haven't got my a few units available. What I might do, another really good deadly combination actually, is the minion horde and prince. So I'm going to wait a little bit here, let myself take a little bit of damage, let my elixir build up, use the minion horde now to defend against the skelly army that's coming in. You can see they're taking down the skelly army. Suddenly I've dropped a prince in, and now he's got to defend that. I mean, that is difficult to defend. I can't imagine what he's going to do. It is computer AI, so it doesn't matter too much. I mean, I've absolutely whooped it, taken it down, and now he's struggling. I might even drop in an extra hog just to go for the 3 crown. Got my freeze spell as well. Just to, I mean, I'll let him try and take that tower down. Got the freeze to just stop the tower damage. I could have dropped the freeze in the middle of both of the towers actually, and tried to take it down that way. But I think I'm pretty much good to get the 3 crown now. And the point I was showing you is I've got offensive options. So I now might send in, I'll wait for those skellies to go away, some barbarians. And with that, although because they're quite heavy on elixir, you can see I'm struggling for my units to come a little bit, to come to get me enough to be able to attack. But there it is, I've got the 3, so it's fine. But I've got options when I attack, and that's what I like. I'm more of an offensive player, and it's just my style. Everyone will have their own style. There's another style which I haven't spoken about, which is like a spawning deck, where you can, if I take this one for example, drop in decks that create units. So Goblin Hut creates units. Where's the Barb Hut? The Tombstone creates little units as well, creates little skellies. The Barb Hut creates skellies, and then what I might do is start over time popping those units down, getting a constant flow of units hitting the enemy, use arrows and to start to try and deflect hordes of enemies coming close to me. I then might mix in extra barbarians to really add a bit of oomph to the attack. You could even add in a hog rider and or a mini pecker or something like that, and you just sort of, it's called a spawning deck, where over time, once you've got a goblin hut, a tombstone and a barbarian hut down, and you've been able to defend them and defend those towers, so that, and they're suddenly creating a flood of units, it can really cause a pain. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about finally was a bit of the gameplay. Let's have a little look. I'll do a live attack for you. I've already spoke about the elixir flow. It's key. Being able to manage that elixir flow, knowing when to attack is key. Turning, and one of the bigger keys actually is being I'm gonna get to my normal deck, and that's a mistake. Always make sure you're on your right deck. Being able to turn an attack, an enemy attack, into your attack. So managing the elixir. So this guy's starting very quick actually. Oh, really dropped a fireball early on there. Yeah, guys dropping a load of infantry down, so I'm going to actually test out now if I can drop a quick prince in, because he might not have any infantry to sort of stop this attack. He's got a cannon there. Oh no, he has got a prince there, so I'm going to have to struggle now a little bit. I will drop barbarians to counter him. Oh, he's got the counter for that as well. This guy's playing quite well. That bomber is going to counter my barbarians perfectly, so now is the point where I'm going to sit back and not attack for a second. I'm going to let my elixir build up. If he might try and... I have a feeling he's going to sit back and wait a little bit as well now, just to make sure. But in your deck, always make sure you're just comfortable with it. You've got to know its pluses, its strengths, its weaknesses, and when to hit is the main thing. You can see this guy's just dropped a P.E.K.K.A. So he's going to have used 6 elixir to drop that down. So I'm going to drop an instant hog in. I missed. I should have dropped that earlier. I should have tried to almost preempt that one, but I didn't, so it's fine. But good thing about P.E.K.K.A.s is they can be easily distracted, so if I can pull it away, look, get it away from my tower, suddenly it's not going to do as much damage, it's out the way. I'm going to drop a Tesla to take down the the dragon. Unfortunately, the goblins are doing some pretty good damage, so I need to almost focus and get back to it. Oh god, Prince. This guy's relentless. I like that Prince, the Prince Bomber sort of combination there, because it does some. It takes down the Barbarian Horde, which the Barbarian Horde is almost, sorry, the Barbarians are normally the natural defense against a Prince, because they'll stop it in its tracks, then they'll kill it. Tombstones are also very good against defending Princes. We're going to try a bit of a hybrid attack now though. Goblin Prince, free spell to whatever's going to come in. Here we go, free spell is down. Guy, he's dropping a bit of a counter in, got some good damage off that tower. Gonna need to start thinking about defending this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the minion horde just behind, try and take that down there, drop the barbarians to deflect the P.E.K.K.A, drop my prince to defend against his prince. He's getting some really good damage. I'm going to do a bit of a counter attack now with the hog, see if I can get some. Oh, he's dropped a okay, this guy does know what he's doing. I am up against it here, so I don't think I'm going to be able to take this battle home for the win on this one. But it does set my it does set what I'm trying to say down to a T. That you've got to play both parts. You've got to play the offense and you've got to play the defense. You can see here, because he sent a tanky unit in, I'm dropping my barbarians behind the P.E.K.K.A to stop the sort of the flow. And now what I'm going to try and do is do a mega offense. He's gone for it. Drop a freeze down over here. See if I can just stop those units. Get in. Get the hog in. Come on. Oh. No, he's been able to counter me very well. Well played by the guy. He was a level 8 and I'm a level 7, so he's got slightly higher troops, but it didn't matter. Anyway, it's all about timing and that elixir flow and seeing what the enemy doing, being reactive. So when he dropped the P.E.K.K.A at the back of the map, I knew I had a bit of time to maybe even throw in a bit of an attack there. I'll try one more battle just to see if we can get a win and prove a point. But sometimes you've got to go for the one crown, the one star, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you've got to go for the 2, and sometimes you've got to go for the 3. Maybe I might try a quick Prince Minion Horde combo at the start. We'll see what he does. Oh, he's just dropping the test down. Sometimes you do a little bit of a test at the start of the. Oh, good hit there. He's doing an instant counter. I'm going to take some good damage off him though, and he's going to take some good damage off me. Who's going to walk away with the most? I think he is. Oh, wow, instant crown from him. Ooh, I think this is going to be maybe someone going for the 3 crown on this one. We've both sort of that's the risk, I guess, because I sent all of my elixir at the start. I didn't have anything left to defend. Sometimes it's good because if they don't have the offense, or they don't have if he wasn't quick enough to get that to do the counter attack on me, Golem's down. I know he's used a lot of elixir there. I can send a quick hog in to maybe try and go and get that extra crown there. Take down the tower. Look, I think I'll get it. Yep, there we go. Now I need to worry about the counter. Fireball in, take down the barbarians. I know he's got arrows, so I'm going to have to expect those to be used in a second. There we go. And now I need to start worrying seriously about defending against this golem. I'm going to drop a second Tesla, pulling the golem further away from that tower. And now the minions are getting hit, taking the golem down, controlled that attack quite nicely. Finished the unit. Oh, I'm losing health there. Got to see what he does now, because he's using like a golem deck, but he hasn't got the elixir pumps to give him that elixir boost that you sometimes desperately need. So wondering what he's going to drop. Okay, we've got a Is it called this unit? I can't remember. Mauler. Okay, here we go. Instantly sending the hog in. I'll freeze the hog. Don't need that to do too much damage to my tower. While I'm doing that, I'm just waiting for him to drop the golem. There it is. Let's go. Here comes the big attack from me. I'm going for the extra tower now. Dropping the fireball down to help do. Yes, caught those minions. Now I need to worry about defending, really. He did use his, I was going to say, his arrows. Oh, good choice to drop that. Then am I able to get in the back and get it down? Maybe. Extra hogging as well. Good choice to use the hog there. That should get me, actually. Can I drop a quick counter in? Come on. Come on. No, he's got me. Okay, maybe it's not the best example to try and do in this overview video, but it gives you the idea of how the gameplay is. I've just lost a load of trophies as well. Ouch! I'm going to need to regain this back. I've got a crown, and you can see it added to my crown chest, so maybe I'll be able to open that soon. In fact, I'll gem this one finished now. There we go. We can see what I'm going to get from it. A couple of Teslas. 6 more Royal Giants, that's building up, so I'll be able to get them level 7 soon. Got some Wizards back, which is good. And 19 Mortar. Now, immediately I need to set off another chest to open. So, anyway, guys, hope this has been a decent overview for you. I know it's been a huge video. I apologise for that, but the idea for me was to give you guys a good, solid look at what the game is all about, give you some ideas. Clans, you can join a clan as normal. You can search for a clan. If you're not in one already, you can request to join. Obviously, certain clans have certain trophy requirements. For example, we've set our trophy requirements to 1800, which is quite a high amount. I think we're just stopping all the random requests coming in, location, clan tag, etc. Donations /week, I guess that's an average. We've also got your clan score. In the leaderboards, you'll have top clans out there, similar to Clash of Clans really. If you're a Clash of Clans player, it's the same sort of format. Some clans like to go for the trophy pushing, so if you want to try and get to the top 200 at the moment, it's 22,252 trophies. Top players again, almost 4,500 trophies. You can see I'm at 2,000 on this one. Not massively high, but my troop levels is somewhat restrictive. You got your achievements as normal as well. So hope that completes a decent overview of Clash Royale. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.